Now, what we've tried to do is to make sure that this is not an overt PDS commercial. Last few years or so, 3 or 4 years, there have been some exciting developments within PDS. We thought it would be appropriate for us to take some time and help you, bring you up to speed on the current state of PDS. So that's what we're going to do for the next 40 minutes or so. You know, this month and this year, we're celebrating our 33rd anniversary. And we're mighty proud of it. Not only because we have survived the 3 decades, but we have thrived. And we've constantly reinvented ourselves over the years. When our customers' and partners' business models evolved, so did we. When our customers' needs changed, so did we. And as the market dynamics around us morph, so do we. So today, we're here and we're recommitting ourselves to be as relevant as ever, if not more, as you go through your digital transformation journey. And we reaffirm that we'll be here with our products, our services, and perhaps most importantly, our people and our talent to help you, our partners and customers, propel you into the future you desire for yourself. 3 years ago, I stood here in front of you and outlined 3 pillars of our strategy. Number 1, we're committed to our heritage and will continue to strengthen our core. Number 2, we'll continue to enhance our products and services. And number 3, we will invest in R&D to address new and emerging market-specific challenges to do more for our customers. At the same time, we're not complacent. We're learning and we're growing. We are a learning and a growing organization. The new PDS that we are introducing to you today strengthens our commitment to the 3 pillars of the strategy that I talked about. Now, to execute this strategy successfully, we are investing in developing and enhancing our digital competencies in 3 broad categories. First, our expertise in partner products, from end user products all the way to data center products and most things in between. Second, a broad portfolio of enhanced services that allow us to build a long-term relationship with our customers. And third, investment in sophisticated software development technologies and new and emerging technologies. We have an outstanding team of solution architects and subject matter experts that regularly employ those 3 digital competencies in our engagement with our customers and help them design strategies for their IT transformation. For example, when our customers need end-user technology and support, our team can actually help them design strategies that's consistent with the evolving digital workspace. Whether our customers have a cloud-first initiative or have a multi-cloud strategy they've already agreed upon, they always need a partner like PDS to help them design the appropriate strategy for them. As more and more functionality moves to software, our customers ask, how does a software-defined data center looks like? We have the ability to be able to assist them with that. No conversation with our customers ever ends without a significant discussion of cybersecurity concerns. This is a topic at the board level in each enterprise, at least in North America. Cybersecurity is no longer a bolt-on afterthought. It must be designed, it must be implemented and evolve throughout the digital transformation journey and beyond. You know, IoT is becoming of age. The enormous amount of data that's produced by the IoT devices in all of the markets is creating a significant challenge. How do we manage that data? How do we mine that data for new insights? we have the expertise within PDS, ladies and gentlemen, that can help organization define a strategy of how do you mine troves and troves of data produced by the IoT devices. We have a let's see. The first step that we use in helping our customers benchmark their capabilities in information technology is to help them assess their current level of maturity in the information technology capabilities. And to do that, we've developed a process that we engage them in so they can themselves assess where they are in their journey on their continuum of information technology transformation. Now, to help explain further what is that process, I'm going to depend on our own John Miller to actually describe that to you. So I'm going to invite him to the stage in just a minute, but a word about John. I mean, those of you who know John, and many of you do, he's a quintessential professional. The hardest working man in Cosmos, right? He's constantly working. You pass by his office, he's got his laptop open, doing something always. Puts me to shame every day. I'd like to invite him to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Miller time.
Thank you, sir. He says I'm hardworking because he saw me online until 1:30 last night. I was actually watching the Brewers, though. Today, they'll go back today. Well, welcome, everyone. I got to say, it's always an honor to have this time with you here today. So thanks for being here and look forward to having a couple minutes of your time here this morning. To say that we're in a time of real transformation would be a pretty grand understatement on my side. I can reflect on a lot of conversations that I've had with many of you and other people, other IT leaders like you, and they're starting to take on a very common form. Yeah, you have the constant challenges you always have, right? Keeping the lights on, designing resilient architecture, supporting your users, and doing it within the confines of an IT budget that's probably smaller than you want. But today, I'll say the conversations are shifting a little bit, more so around these emerging concepts and best practices that organizations are trying to leverage. It's stuff that Asif just talked about, right? Cloud-first strategy, hybrid IT, security at all levels, enhance, mobilize, and digitalize workspace, and managing the edge. So given that, I mean, it's so often, say, when we're talking, then people are asking us and saying, hey, what are others doing in this age of digital transformation? What are others doing? And how do we compare to them? PDS has responded to this with our IT maturity model that you see on the screen. Now, this was first launched 18 months ago and was really to help organizations really understand the range of levels that IT organizations operate in today. How you compare to others within your industry, but also how you compare to others in other industries, knowing that some other industries might be more mature than your own. Now, to produce something like this, we surveyed many. Many of you were participants in that, other IT leaders, technologists, analysts, and now we're able to present a model that shows this very range. Now, we affectionately label this range as people operating somewhere between survival and strategic. Now, I can say no one organization firmly sits on one edge or the other of that, but I can also say almost every organization has some attributes that do tickle the edge. But overall, the composite score is between a 3 and a 4. So I gotta say, I've been showing this for like the last 18 months, so I have numerous examples of this, but there's been many occasions where I show this slide and then sit back and watch an internal debate/argument happen for the next hour when people are saying about what is our current IT maturity. And I always find that fascinating how people who work for the same company, in the same department, in some cases they sit right next to each other every day, can have a very different perspective about the current role and value of IT. Now, our intent of this isn't to start any internal wars at your company. I promise you that. We're not a dark company like that. But it's really to give you a sober assessment about what your current state is, what's reality. Get agreement on what your desired state should be, and then identify and prioritize areas that can best help you move from the left to the right. And I can tell you that this collaboration has been very well received, and it's commonly now a starting point for us in a strategic partnership. This helps us help you focus on the areas of best and most feasible impact. We know it's a challenging journey that you all have in this age of digital transformation. I can say with the conversations that we're in today, then it quickly gets into how. How do I do this? So if I reflect on my 20 plus years as a technology consultant, I can say the majority of that time has seen a lot of reused concepts, right? From centralized to decentralized and back and forth again about 1,000 times to doing more with less. And technology stacks that were largely reminiscent of the past because all the product innovation focused on smaller, faster, cheaper, as opposed to something different or something better. The innovation today, though, is far more profound, right? Again, those things that we talked about, cloud, hybrid IT, mobilization, these are now packaged in a way to provide both business agility and business value, not merely just to keep the lights on. So this has changed the role and impact of service providers like PDS. Now I'll say, in the old days, there was always more dialogue after you've already made some general technology decisions. You know, the injection point of many IT service providers of ours was more at that point of procurement and deployment, and then working down the stack from there. Today, though, the need you have is to have far earlier and far more strategic engagement. Validating candidate architectures, providing you value at the ideation stage, providing you with deep design, and then operating in more traditional areas of planning, implementation, and management. Now, I want to say one thing very clearly for you. PDS is well positioned in this space. Well positioned in this space. And the investments that we've made through our hires, our labs, and our acquisitions, that's us tripling down our investment and our value in this area. So in summary, our engagement is to help you through that entire journey that you see right there, helping you maximize your value, improve your IT maturity, and to accelerate your path forward. Thanks for your time this morning. Asif, I'll turn it back to you. Thank you.
Let's spend a little bit of time talking about the three areas of digital competence that I talked about. And I'm going to rely on several PDS experts that you may or may not have met or seen before. They're going to come up to the stage and help me explain that. Deploying partner products has been one of our strengths for decades, and this will continue to remain our strength. This is our core strength. We have developed deep and broad expertise in this area, and to actually deploy the products and manage the entire life cycle, from end user products to data center products and everything in between. To help me explain in this area, to provide more context, I'm going to depend on a dynamic duo that is expert in their own rights. This awesome twosome of Kelly Waldock and Maureen Wind are not only excellent in their own right, but they have assembled teams around them of experts that have excelled and perfected the art and science of deploying end-user products through the entire life cycle of the end-user products, from selection to procurement to management to configuration to end of life. Please help me welcome Kelly Waldock and Maureen Wind.
Thank you, Asif. For those of you that haven't heard of it, the MCC is our 45,000 square foot Midwest Configuration Center location in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin. For those of you that have heard of it, you're probably thinking, oh, that's where you guys image PCs and do that rack and roll thing. And you're right, we definitely do those things. However, with the increase of IoT devices, many IT departments have found themselves having to support IP devices far outside their typical realm. Knowing PDS does similar services for end-user compute, and given the amount of configuration that's required prior to installation, more and more customers are asking PDS for help. I'm sure it's easy enough for each of your organizations, and this is a long list. Establish and maintain standards, order products, unbox, power up, asset tag, put that information into your asset management tool, run firmware updates, load software, and make sure all of the drivers for the accessories work prior to setup. Easy, right? Then you need to get that equipment to the end user. No problem. Until you get the device and it doesn't power up. Now what? Or you need to do all of these things for hundreds or thousands of devices before school starts, before your Epic Go Live, or before 15 new stores open. Where are you doing these things when large quantities are involved? Who is doing them, and what isn't getting done when your team is focused on these large priority projects? What I'd like you to take away from this is that while we might be known for our standard configuration services for PCs and laptops, we can help you with just about every device in your business, whether it's in front of the end user, on the wall, behind the wall, or in the ceiling. PDS can help.
Thanks, Kelly. Now, folks, that's a lot of information to take in. So let me see if I can paint the picture for you. You have 2,000 devices that you want to refresh. You're going to keep it interesting and move all of your end users from Apple to Windows. And you're going to do this all in 3 days. Do you think that's going to take a lot of detailed planning between you and a trusted partner? Yeah, you bet, it is. And that's exactly what Racine Unified School District and PDS did earlier this year. Now, Racine has a very talented and committed IT team, which was awesome, because you couple that with PDS's expertise and capabilities for exacting every single device for the right hardware, software, accessories, even the backpacks. Double stack 36 of those backpacks on our wreck and roll carts, put, 55 carts into a truck and take them down to the deployment location, integrate into this methodical workflow that Racine put together. And when the users walk through those gymnasium doors, it's like Christmas. Really. They step up to the first table, they throw in their old gear. Go to the next table, they're given all new equipment. Table number 3, they're met by Racine technical staff, PDS and HP, all making sure they've got the right access and the right software. And yes, they did move from Apple to Windows, so table number 4, Racine even gave Windows 10 training. Bottom line, within 30 to 60 minutes, the end user was completely outfitted with brand new gear that they knew worked and they knew how to use it. True story. So whether you're a school, a healthcare organization, a financial services institution, it doesn't matter. When it comes to devices, configuration, logistics, and deployments, PDS is here to help. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Maureen and Kelly, ladies and gentlemen. You know, sticking with the partner products, another area that we've been investing and growing our expertise as well as our portfolio is on the data center technologies and services, organically and through acquisitions. Some of you may recall that earlier this year, we announced the acquisition of Works Computing. And I'm delighted to report that the integration has gone swimmingly well, and we're cooking on gas. The teams have integrated very well, and our original theory was that this merger will be 1 + 1 = 11, and I'm delighted to report we're well on our way. This acquisition and merger is consistent with the first 2 pillars of strategy that I talked about. It enhances our products and services expertise, especially in the areas of data center technologies and services, cloud services, and it enhances our expertise in providing consultation to enterprises that are looking to transform their information technology environment. Second, it broadens our portfolio of products and services And third, it broadens our geographic reach. We have access to more markets now than we each did alone. What does it mean for you? You have access to a company that has more than 300 highly skilled technologists, most of them technologists, as a matter of fact. A broad portfolio and a single neck to choke, a single place to shop for all of your information technology needs, from end user products to data center and most everything in between. And as I mentioned, expert consultation services. We have the ability to go into an organization, as John talked about, help you assess what your information technology status is, build a strategy appropriate for you to take you through the journey of digital transformation. If you look at Works Computing, they have been in existence very successfully for the last 24 years. And as I mentioned, PDS has been in business for over 30 years. The combined company has the expertise in the product portfolio that is very, very strong. And we have the ability to serve our customers in a variety of different markets, whether you're an SMB, whether you're an enterprise, a healthcare organization, or a public sector institution, for example, state and local government agencies, or an academic institution. In the short few months, we have demonstrated that the combined value of this company is significantly larger than the sum of its parts. We could not have done this through organic growth alone. Now, how are we leveraging the capabilities, both on the product side and on the people side, that we have achieved through this merger to help our customers? Well, if you look at cloud adoption, it's accelerating in just about every market. And it is due in large part to the fact that fears and skepticism surrounding managing and securing cloud and hybrid infrastructure is quickly dissipating. And what's also helping is this increased understanding among enterprises of what workload is better suited to run in an in-house infrastructure versus what workload can be outsourced to a cloud infrastructure. More and more organizations are looking to companies like PDS to come and help them decide which mission-critical workloads should stay in the in-house infrastructure, what workloads they can outsource to the commercial cloud, and how else to use the commercial cloud, for example, for excess capacity. Now, while in-house infrastructure will continue to remain a significant portion of the overall picture, cloud adoption is going to continue to grow at double-digit rates for the foreseeable future. And this is resulting in significant investments in the industry. Now, according to a recent report by IDC, global enterprises are expected to spend more than $500 billion over the next 3 years solely on cloud-based products and services. Now, at the same time, complexity is at its all-time high because new business models, platform integration, automation, and the need to dynamically orchestrate applications across all of the hybrid environments, the public cloud, the private clouds, the in-house infrastructure. Our team of solution architects is constantly engaged with our customers to help them make sense of this, to help them understand the market dynamics that they're facing and design strategies that are specifically useful for them and their organization. I'm going to invite two of our ACE solution architects to give you more context on this. So please help me welcome Bob Powell and Justin Youngblood.
Well, good morning. It's great to be here with all of you this morning at PDS Connect. My role this morning is to share a few thoughts on the topic of hybrid IT and how PDS is embracing this paradigm shift in the IT industry. So when we talk about data center, hybrid IT sort of comes up in the conversation pretty often, but what does that really mean? So in general terms, the notion of hybrid IT is really about managing your information assets using the best blend of cloud-based and on-prem resources. For some of you, this might mean, well, let's just move our email and our productivity apps to Office 365. For others, this might be, there we go. All right, so examples. So for some of you, again, Office 365. For K-12, maybe this is something like Google Cloud Services. We have customers that might have long-term data retention needs, and so maybe a cloud-based storage or an object store is something that makes economic sense. We have some very aggressive customers, too, who are looking to set up full data centers in the cloud and have workload portability to move their applications back and forth. Pretty aggressive, huh? Well, if you don't have a hybrid IT strategy, where do you start? And if you do have a hybrid IT strategy, how do you take that and move it forward? So to help put some structure around conversations for hybrid IT into context, what we've done at PDS is built out some reference architectures for some of the common use cases and the building blocks that are used to create those. So these aren't, kind of off-the-wall esoteric ideas that are hypothetical. These use current technologies and modern methods. What we try to do is sprinkle in themes of simplification and automated tasks throughout these. And we try not to get too attached to a particular technology or a particular vendor. Now, we do recognize through the course of this that sometimes disruptive technology really drives a better architecture. So we're open to those kinds of things as well. Now, we've got many examples of how we do this in the real world. And to share one of those examples with you, I'm going to pass the baton to my esteemed colleague, Justin.
Thanks, Bob. I'm excited to be here, and I'd like to take you on a short journey on a project we were recently working on. Earlier this year, we had an opportunity to work with a Fortune 500 global financial services company based in Minneapolis to help support and design their cloud strategy. During many working sessions, we provided them our expert counsel and lessons learned from previous customers. We also helped provide them new technologies and new design techniques to help build to those business initiatives. But then the real fun started. We took everything the customer ever did and turned it upside down and evaluated it from inside out. We examined all facets of their existing data centers and compared and evaluated all possible solutions. We navigated many manufacturers and provided valuable and product agnostic information about how each manufacturer would ultimately integrate with each other. We boiled the ocean and eventually landed on a few key manufacturers and technologies to help build this new solution. We are now in the final stages of building 2 truly modern and state-of-the-art data centers with solutions like hyperconverged infrastructure and software-defined networking. These solutions provide the customer the ultimate flexibility, resiliency, and integration to their private and their public clouds. This is a great example of what we do. On projects both small and large, we take the same techniques and the same philosophy to each of our loyal customers to make sure we're building them the best solution for them.
Thank you very much, Bob and Justin. A second set of digital competencies are in the area of enhanced services. We've got a pretty broad portfolio in that arena. For example, managed services, managed security, identity and access management, a national staffing practice, and a state-of-the-art 24/7 highly secure service desk that's multi-purpose. It actually has the ability to provide IT help desk to customers in all of our markets, and it has a specialized white label patient portal service that we offer specifically to healthcare organizations. And we've got several dozen large healthcare organizations across the country that use that patient portal, which support just about any major EHR that's available. I'll give you an example of our staffing service as well, which is national. Recently, we took a large US enterprise, we took on a multi-year project with them where they were going through IT transformation across their systems across the country. And at one point in time, we had 60 of our talented associates helping them work through that. Now, this area, the services area, particularly allows us to build ongoing relationships and partnerships with our customers, as opposed to someone that do occasional business with or a transaction with. Now, to give you more context on this, I'm going to invite Greg Claremont to the stage to give you a little more context. Greg?
I used to have a full head of hair until I had quadruplet boys. But that's another story. Thank you, Asif. So as Asif and John mentioned, more and more businesses are being asked to think differently as they look at transforming their core business. So I might be a little biased here, but as a former customer, I know PDS can help you. I personally experienced that, and I was really excited when I had the opportunity to be part of the team and be able to deliver this for others like yourself. So PDS also delivers these services out of our Midwest Technology Center, serving global customers. So whether you need a 24/7 help desk with specialized application support for your patients, your students, your clients, your customers, your citizens, we've got you covered. Maybe you need a comprehensive service desk as a service solution built on an agile, multi-tenant IT service management platform. Or maybe you need a white glove managed end user and field services capability. We also have a rock solid managed network and security offering. Combine that with our reliable and versatile managed cloud and data center services to help you with your dynamic workloads. We've got you covered. So by supplementing your IT organization with PDS support and managed services, you really free yourself from the burden of IT operational support and be able to focus yourself and take the first step in this paradigm shift from traditional technology management into being able to contribute to strategic initiatives that will help move your organization, yourselves, and your team closer to transforming your business. Thank you, Asif.
So very much, Greg. Greg Claremont, ladies and gentlemen. Next, our third area of digital competence that has been evolving is in the software development arena. Now, as you know, software is foundational to information technology transformation, and it's becoming more so by the day. We recognize that, and several years ago, we started an effort to start building that expertise within our team. And we ended up opening an innovation center in the heart of Silicon Valley in Cupertino. And I'm delighted to report that we have assembled a top-notch team of software developers and experts in the Cupertino facility, and we affectionately call it the PDS Geek Squad. We have assembled individuals there with expertise like artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, analytics, natural language processing, and user experience design. That is necessary today. In a PDS of the past, a solution provider, it would have been sufficient to have skills like selection of devices, whether data center or end user, procurement, configuration, management, support, and some managed services built around those services. That set of skills is still very critical and very important for a solution provider like us, but not sufficient anymore. With more functionality moving to software and cloud adoption accelerating, we need different expertise. We need language, we need vocabulary, expertise, and experience in new and emerging software technologies. We need to know what DevOps is. We need to know how microservices architecture works. We need to know how virtualization and containerization works. What we have done in our team in Cupertino is taken a platform approach. So we've assembled all of these technologies in a comprehensive IoT platform that we're using to quickly prototype, test, and deploy use cases that emerge in our engagement with our customers. Our customers are constantly engaging us, saying, we are transforming and it's creating the following problems with us. We need to have applications interoperating. We need to have applications interoperating with the infrastructure. We need to have disparate hybrid IT infrastructure interoperating with each other. Can you help us? Our intent behind this software platform is to quickly prototype and deploy those applications. I'm going to invite our head geek from Silicon Valley, Long Fu, to give you more context on that. Long, please join us. Now,
well, thank you, Asif. It's a privilege to be here.
Now, this man's maybe long, but he's deep and broad. Very, very deep and broad. So, you know, if you Google him, this man, his YouTube videos are littered all over the internet. He took his software company in Silicon Valley public 4 years ago. And we were fortunate enough to attract his attention to come and help us build this team as well as this platform. So we're fortunate to have him amongst us. So Long, I mentioned that you and your team have building this platform for quite a while now, and it has applicability across all of our markets. Tell our audience a little bit about the platform.
Yes, Asif. Well, before I say anything, I want to say, my name is Long, but in all my answers, I'll try to be very short and brief. All right. So as you mentioned in your question, the key word is platform. We have built a general-purpose IoT platform. With that, we can easily extend to variety applications in the markets that we're serving currently.
Good. So, even though we're using this platform to prototype and test a variety of applications for customers in all of our markets, let's talk about one of the use cases that you're developing, which is specifically to healthcare, right? There's a lot of research and body of knowledge in the industry that says that doctors are spending less and less time face-to-face with patients and more time dealing with administrivia, whether that's going through EMR reports, waiting through faxes from the labs, or during clinical time, or in the evening, writing reports. Now, you have worked with a lot of healthcare professionals across the country. Please share with our audience what your observation has been.
Definitely, Asif. You have used the word administriva, and that's the word physicians usually call non-cognitive tasks. During the conversation with many physicians from different hospitals to do our problem discovery, the physician has asked us if we can offload those non-cognitive tasks out of their plate. According to the study conducted by American Medical Association, on a typical day, a physician spends about 27% time with patients. On the other hand, they spend about 50% of time on EHR and other clerical works. Clearly, something needs to be done to help the physician.
So clearly, technology can help, right? So that's what your team has been doing, is applying technology to solve this problem. So tell us about what sort of technologies are you employing to solve these problems?
Absolutely, technology can help. With the advancement of technology in big data, natural language processing, machine learning, we can help physicians in such a way. Just a few short years ago, we could not think of. As a matter of fact, we are developing a solution for cardiologists. And this solution utilizes natural language processing, machine learning, to automate some of the non-cognitive tasks we talked about, such as EHR reporting, billing, regulatory compliance. Asif?
Very good. So, I normally don't try to put you on the spot, but tell our audience, when could we actually see commercial deployment of some of these solutions?
Asif, I know I'm on the spotlight. By asking that question, I know I got your permission, at least I assume I got your permission, to disclose some information that's not publicly known yet. Ladies, gentlemen, my job is on the line. Please keep this information in this room. And I want to say this very slowly and carefully, just to make sure I'm not saying wrong things. We are very fortunate to work with a large hospital in Wisconsin. Currently, we are in the process of trialing our software. We expect the trial completion date is sometime beginning of next year. Shortly after that, the software should be generally available.
Thank you so very much, Long. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it, so his job's on the line unless this is commercialized in January.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. So ladies and gentlemen, you got a little bit of sampling of our expertise. This is a cream of a very large crop in our country, in our company. Hopefully, you got a little bit of sense for where we are now. These men and women are the real deal. I'm just a monkey on a rock, but I tell you, we have a strong team that's ready to support you. We understand that our success is tied to yours. Believe me, this is an understanding that exists within every individual within PDS. Unless you succeed, we don't. We also know that when you succeed, we have an opportunity to participate in your success. So our request to you is, give us a chance, allow us a seat at the table, and I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. Thank you so very much for your attention.